something that you and I have differed on here over the past, 2 years, really ever since they paid Jared Goff, of this theoretical window being open. I do not believe that this window exists. Because from a big picture standpoint, I think about it like this. In theory, again, this is in theory, but the offensive coordinator is going to be an upgrade position. You're going to find someone other than John Morton to call your plays. Dan Campbell gets to go back to being a CEO head coach. In theory, Shepard takes a step forward as a DC, just like a player would in his second season. This was Shepard's rookie season. In theory, Dan Campbell goes to the clock management class. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but good Lord, he just needs like a 30-hour course in when to call timeouts and how to manage your clock. And in theory, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are actually going to be healthy next season. In theory, Aleem McNeil is going to return to form. That's the one I guess I'm the most, I don't know. I hope he reforms. That's more of hope than it is in theory. It's going to suck to lose like important players like Anzalone and Amik Robertson this offseason. Those are kind of the big ones. Khalif Raymond potentially in that group as well, but he certainly made a case that the Lions should be giving him a contract extension, even if that's just a one-year deal. It's going to stink to lose those guys. Al-Quadin Muhammad's another guy who the Lions are going to have to figure out something with, but the core is still there. Amon-Ra's still going to be there. Sewell's still going to be there. J-Mo, who has truly taken a tremendous step forward, is still going to be there. Laporta's going to be healthy. Branch and Joseph are going to be healthy. Jack Campbell's going to continue to play the way that he has. In theory, this team should just be better this season. You mentioned the third-place schedule. I get it. The Goff contract and the Amon-Ra contract and the Sewell contract get pretty expensive here starting next season. But I don't subscribe to the theory that their window's over. This year obviously didn't go according to plan, but I don't think it's just done. And I have a hard time sitting here thinking that Dan Campbell and the Lions are not going to bounce back. For as much as we are kind of saying how poor of a game it was yesterday and the culture was lost, I still big picture believe in this team and what the Lions have built here. Do they need to look in the mirror a little bit and say what went wrong? Absolutely. But I don't subscribe to the theory that this window is closed by any stretch of the imagination. And I feel like you differ from this, but then you said something earlier on that maybe you're zagging on me.
Well, on principle, I go to sleep every night repeating the same words. Can't win a Super Bowl with a quarterback that makes more than 12% of the salary cap.
You go to sleep saying that?
Every single night. Yeah, that's my thing, But next year, the cap hit for Jared Goff is 23%. The way the contract was structured for him, remember, next year is the balloon year. This year it was low. Next year it's the balloon year, and then it levels off the 2 years after that. But 23% of a cap hit for your quarterback is rough, especially then when I think there are other pretty low-value contracts on your books. You've already mentioned Aleem a couple of times. 10% of your cap to Aleem McNeil.
Bad.
10% of it.
Potentially a tragic contract.
$29 million next year, which, by the way, is the first year of the new deal.
For Aleem.
Correct.
Yes, it jumps to, Correct. Because he's making $6 million this year. It's nothing.
Correct. Taylor Decker, is he an efficient deal at 7% of your salary cap, over $21 million?
Is he going to be here next season?
Is he even going to be here?
Is he going to be sitting at home?
Fingers crossed he retires.
No, come on. Because then you're replacing another offensive, then you have to draft a first-round tackle. You don't really have a choice.
Do you? Or can you go sign a different tackle for 15 that's going to be just as good?
There's not a ton of tackles that just hit the market like that.
Okay.
That's more of the interior spots. But there's definitely a chance that him and Ragnar are just buddies watching the Lions from the couch.
That's a good point. So, DJ Reed, also 6% of your cap, $18 million for a balloon year next year. Ouch.
He's been really bad the last month.
Might be cut, right?
Not gonna. Nope. He's on a 3-year deal. They're not gonna cut him. They need Terry on.
What's
back.
the dead money? Yeah. All of that is to say, I think again, you come into this year, target on your back, toughest schedule in the division, new coordinators on both sides of the football. Ultimately, a tragic and very critical thing takes place in the middle of your season. That's not injury related, and that's the fact that your OC is a lemon. And so, going into next year, you've got to hit that though. Because you can't be sitting 8 weeks into the regular season next year thinking, oh, well, it's a first-year OC. It's a completely new game plan. And that's what
there can't even be a question at any point next season of whether who should be calling plays.
No, not who's calling plays, but you can't 8 weeks into the season have the excuse of, well, it's year one with X. It's year one with offensive coordinator, insert name here. Like, there can't be an excuse for that. It has to be a home run hit of a hire.
Philly has a new OC every single season.
Yeah.
Like, they don't make an excuse for that.
That's correct. It's got to hit. Like, this becomes the biggest acquisition in the Brad Holmes era now, right? Like, there's been a lot of other items to take place. But
yeah, this is a Dan Campbell hire, but yes.
Sure. In conjunction with Brad Holmes, I would hope.
Is it? Or I feel like the coaching hires are more so just on the head coach.
I mean, they've got to be made in concert in my mind, and that, the players that are then put into scheme need to fit.
Sure. Yes.
All of that is to say, I don't think there are as many missing pieces to this team bouncing back, especially softer schedule, the motivation of missing the playoffs, and then having what is a team that, look, I'm not willing to say that the culture is completely dead here. If this team truly is built on grit, this Dan Campbell era cannot be over this kind of they can't roll over this easily for this entire era to be dead.
No.
You come back with an easier schedule, with motivation, more health, a new OC. Again, the margin is not that far off. You just mentioned the officiating calls of the last 3 weeks in general. One of those games flips the opposite way, and you're in a far different situation if you sneak in as a wild card. Not to say that they would have won a playoff game this year, but how different is the perception this year with a bad OC, with injuries all over the board, and with some admitted mistakes from your front office in not addressing the trenches correctly and missing the last 2 drafts? All that is to say, you still end up with 10-11 wins, you squeak into the playoffs. But, again, one play here or there at the end of a game the last 3 weeks, they're all excuses that can be made, I'm sure of it. Next year still feels like very much an open window scenario.
And every single one of your losses this year, other than Kansas City, was a 1-score loss.
Yes.
Like, it's not like you ever really were getting blown out. So what do you guys